The league needs to take care of Caitlyn, not for special treatment purposes, but that's who everybody's there to see. Everybody wants to see Caitlyn Clark play. And if you let other teams and other people beat the shit out of her, she's going to spend 2 weeks out injured. And your attendance is going to drop because people aren't going to get the chance to see her.
I thought at times we could have played a little bit faster, and I think that's on me, like not conceding in that. We still got to play up tempo. We still got to play fast. But I mean, I thought for the most part we did a lot of stuff that coach wanted us to do, and you know, that wasn't why we lost.
Thus, this is our current location. Standing in front of cameras with a truth bomb that nobody saw coming, Caitlyn Clark, the generational talent who single-handedly reignited interest in women's basketball, set off a chain reaction that destroyed every WNBA locker room, studio, and front office. In one brutally honest press conference, Clark didn't sugarcoat or tiptoe. Instead, she revealed to the world what her fans had long suspected, that she's not okay, that her body is failing, that her spirit is running on fumes, and that those who should be protecting her are watching from the sidelines with their arms crossed. Caitlyn revealed what's actually going on behind the scenes, and it wasn't pretty. This wasn't just a player having a bad day. It was a cry for help cloaked in post-game commentary. She talked about tiredness, misunderstandings, and emotional tolls that extend beyond basketball. The room went silent, social media erupted, and all of a sudden, the world saw Clark not just as an athlete, but also as a human being unraveling in real time. This wasn't a publicity stunt or a PR strategy. Rather, it was desperation, a player at the top of her career being pulled to the bottom by a system that promised her greatness and delivered chaos. Her candor wasn't brave, but it was required because if the lead didn't want to listen before they ran out of excuses, what we're seeing is a slow-motion collapse of infrastructure, not talent. Instead, Caitlyn Clark came to improve the game, but she's being suffocated by it, and fans are done being patient. This isn't entertainment anymore. It's tragedy. Let's now discuss the developing storm between Clark and her head coach, Stephanie White. On the surface, this appears to be a normal player-coach relationship, but if you look closely, you'll see something much more concerning. When a generational shooter like Caitlyn Clark is forced to play off-ball and struggles to find rhythm in a system designed for, well, not her, it raises questions about why a team strategy is stifling its star. Why is Clark known for her court vision and offensive command being forced into a role that doesn't suit her brilliance? Fans aren't just upset. They're furious that the Indiana Fever, who have one of the brightest lights in all of sports, are dimming her from within. You can see it in her hesitation, missed shots, and, worst of all, her growing silence. Although Stephanie White is holding the clipboard, Caitlyn Clark's game is being erased line by line. At some point, a coach must make adjustments because White has doubled down, and with each loss and awkward offensive set, it's becoming evident that this isn't just a tactical mismatch, but also that stubbornness is sabotaging it. Let's turn our attention to the officials because, wow, it's an absolute circus. The referees are treating Caitlyn Clark like a test of how much abuse a player can withstand before something breaks. In the WNBA, where rules are optional and consistency is legendary, it's not just about missed calls. It's about willful disregard. 1 second she's elbowed, the next she's taking a shoulder to the chest, and the whistle is nowhere to be seen, but let her breathe on a defender. Clark is the designated target of referees who have turned every game into a blood sport. The league has not expressed outrage or taken any disciplinary action, but their silence says volumes about how this behavior is accepted, if not encouraged. While fans vent online and analysts dispel the bias, the league continues to profit from it because every time Caitlyn Clark is knocked down and gets back up, it creates viral content. But at what cost? A twisted incentive loop now rewards brutality and punishes grace. How long until she loses the ability to function? This isn't officiating. It's a deliberate disregard for the WNBA's greatest asset, Clark, who is being treated like a punching bag. If nothing changes, it won't just be her body that fails, but also her faith in the very game she came to save. What's more concerning is how much Clark has changed in appearance, not just in terms of her stat sheet, but also in terms of her presence. The once fierce, fearless leader now walks with slouched shoulders and a glassy gaze. It's not just exhaustion, it's loss. Fans can tell that she's losing herself, not just games, as evidenced by her halting motions, unsure decisions, and second-guessing where she formerly improvised well. It's a warning sign that a generational player shouldn't be this emotionally worn out during her rookie season. We've seen similar signs in other leagues where young stars have been crushed under pressure, but this feels particularly cruel because Caitlin didn't enter with a sense of pride, but rather with a love for the game and a desire to create something greater than herself. Now that fire is flickering, and if this keeps up, it won't be long before she's not just mentally checked out but physically gone. She deserves more than sympathy, and she deserves solutions before it's too late. Though Caitlin Clark doesn't pass up easy looks, her recent shooting slump, 7 for 20 from a field, 1 for 10 from 3, has raised eyebrows. However, what worries true fans isn't just a miss, it's the shot she's not taking. That's not just bad form, that's psychological trauma on display. Everyone says that shooters shoot, but what actually occurs is that after weeks of instability, betrayal, and conflicting cues from the bench, a shooter's confidence is damaged to the point where they no longer trust their gut feelings and begin to glance over their shoulder rather than toward the basket. 8 turnovers, including one made in 2 games, are a scorecard of systemic failure rather than merely statistics. She is obviously not receiving the stability, structure, and trust that every missed shot and careless pass is a cry for. Although Clark's numbers are honest, they don't fully convey the picture because underneath them lies a player who is frantically attempting to rediscover herself as those around her continue to drag her farther away from it. Reporters claim that the players appear distant and that there is no chemistry in the locker room. What ought to be a celebration of a new era in Indiana basketball instead feels more like a haunted house filled with emotional baggage and missed opportunities. Clark requires more than simply an improved defensive plan. She needs a support system right now since it seems that the staff and teammates around her don't get her or are too afraid to stand up for her. That's not only regrettable, it's dangerous. There isn't any happiness, spark, or unity on this squad. Every night, Clark drags them past the finish line, demonstrating that her teammates are playing hungry hippos while she tries to play 4D chess. This disconnect is detrimental to her legacy as well as their record. We must eventually question ourselves, what exactly is the Indiana Fever building here? Given their winning culture, as it certainly doesn't appear to be, and if they aren't building around Caitlin Clark, they are building on sand. Get ready, for we are about to enter a darker realm. The hate Caitlin's receiving from other players, it's more than competitiveness, it's a masterclass in professional jealousy turned to full-blown assault. Opponents aren't just trying to outplay her, they're trying to humiliate her. The fouls are blatant, the trash talk is endless, the targeting is systematic, and the WNBA completely silent. This is a league of sisterhood and empowerment. It's a cage match, and Caitlin's a main attraction, being torn apart for ratings. Even worse, former players and coaches have joined the pylon. Instead of offering wisdom, they've weaponized their platforms to belittle her. It's not critique, it's defamation. And when it comes from respective voices, the damage is tenfold. This isn't a rookie welcome, it's hazing on a national scale. And if no one steps in soon, the league won't just lose Caitlin Clark, they'll lose everything she brought with her hope, excitement, and a new generation of fans. Let's talk long-term if things don't change. Clark leaving the WNBA isn't just a possibility, it's a probability. Overseas teams are already watching, and who could blame her? There's money, respect, and safety waiting for her in Europe or Australia. All she has to do is say yes. The WNBA beg her to come, and now they're watching her burn. If Clark walks, the league will once again become relevant. Ticket sales will drastically decline, sponsors will disappear, and the ripple effect would be disastrous. This isn't just about one player, it's about the survival of the league. Clark isn't a luxury, she's the lifeline, and treating her like she's expendable, that's corporate suicide. The league has one job: protected stars, and right now it's failing miserably. Clark doesn't owe them her loyalty, they owe her a league that gives a damn. So here's the bottom line: if the WNBA doesn't wake up and protect its brightest star, Caitlin Clark will walk away. And she'll be right to do it. And when she does, the lights won't just dim, they'll go out for good. And to Caitlin, if you're watching this, you don't owe anyone your silence, you don't owe anyone your suffering. You brought millions to this game, you made people believe, you changed everything. And if this league won't fight for you, fight for yourself. Because of fans, we see you, we hear you, we believe you. And we know you deserve better. You are not just a player, you are a revolution, and revolutions don't wait. And the truth is this: revolution, it's already begun. Not in boardrooms or on press releases, but in living rooms across America, in the chants from packed arenas, in the tears from little girls who see themselves in you. Every foul you take, every bruise you cover up, every basket you fight for. It's not just a play, it's a protest, it's a statement. And now the world is finally listening, because what Caitlin Clark represents is bigger than basketball. She's a mirror reflecting everything the league wants to be and everything it's still failing to become. She is a reason why the WNBA's numbers spiked, why national conversations exploded, why a sport once ignored is now unavoidable. But here's the catch: the league wanted her impact. Without her power, they wanted her name, but not her voice. And now the silence is deafening. Coaches smile during news appearances as their star burns out behind the scenes, and the front office smiles as the court becomes a battleground. The media puppets talk about rookie growing pains while fans watch a generational icon's slow decline. When Caitlin's light goes out, the leagues follow suit, because she is more than just the main event. She is the foundation, and when your foundation leaves, the whole house falls apart. This isn't about fixing a broken system. Rather, it's about tearing it down and creating one that celebrates his talent rather than crushes it. And if the WNBA can't see that, perhaps it doesn't deserve her. So to the league executives, referees, and coaches still holding on to antiquated playbooks and fragile egos, wake up. You are mistreating the future. You are not watching it, and the clock is ticking. Every time Caitlin takes the court, she is risking herself, not just her stats or rankings. If she decides it's no longer worth it, don't ask why she left. Instead, ask why it took her so long. One day, you might check the schedule and see that Caitlin Clark isn't listed, not because she failed, but because you did. To the fans who are still showing up and chanting her name, keep the pressure on, keep the spotlight burning, and demand change, because Caitlin Clark deserves a league that creates legends, not burying them. The time for polite silence is over. This is not just a season. It's a warning shot, and if they don't listen, they never will.